Hi, this is Matt Rhodes for Derbyshire Media Company, and I'm joined by Dave Wilde, the assistant manager for Matlock Town. Dave, 3-0 defeat today to Hyde United in the league. Can you briefly summarise, if you can, what did you think of the players' performance today?
Gutless, toothless, soulless, embarrassing is how I describe it, and I've told them that. Fellows told them that. Brian Wilson, the assistant manager, he's told them that it was gutless. And the one most important thing for me is I want to apologise on behalf of everyone to the supporters who came. You know, I've just gone round personally and shook everyone's hand and thanked them for the travelling, and I can assure you, and Philo can assure you, and the group can assure you, that will never happen again, certainly whilst me, Philo and Brian are involved.
How can you, is it possible to explain that performance? Because there were, despite not beating Morpeth, there were a lot of things to be encouraged by. Yeah. It was a decent performance, and then it's happened a few times this season where there's been an encouraging performance and then a performance like that. Can you explain it?
Well, look, I obviously can't speak on behalf of what's gone on prior to us arriving. In terms of Tuesday to today, so Morpeth to Hyde, people will say, oh, it was a 3G pitch, a 4G pitch, anything like that. We train on that twice a week, so it's not an excuse. For me, I think, personally, I've said it to them in there, is they've took a decent performance on Tuesday against a good side who are pushing for the playoffs. Cigars come out, they think the job's done. Well, the job's not done, because everyone around us has just won. If you can't look yourself in the mirror after a game, you've got a big problem on your hand, and there's probably maybe two, if that, in there, and that takes a lot for me to say that, because I'm a very positive person. I'm just all of us, I say us as a staff, bitterly disappointed with that, because it's almost back to the drawing board after such a positive performance on Tuesday. So there'll be a lot of discussion between myself, Phil and Brian this week.
Yeah, Matlock as well. I mean, obviously they're just above still the relegation zone, but obviously it's now extremely tight. So I think Grantham are the only team that lost as well, around the bottom 7 or 8. Matlock are, I think, the lowest scorers now in the league. Sorry, second lowest, just above Stafford.
Yeah.
Marcus Marshall is used a lot, but he's not per se like an out-and-out centre forward. Are you looking, or is Paul Phillips going to be looking soon to add strength in that final third?
I think after that we'll be lightly sitting down and looking to discuss strength in every position. I feel a bit. I think the unnecessary pressure, I don't know, is that the right phrase? I feel like Marshy has a lot of unnecessary load on him as sort of the talisman, the star man of the club. It's not just on him to score goals. You know, Philo said in there, and he's hit the nail clean on the head, is Alex Byrne there. He's not had a great game today, all right, nowhere near his standards, and it'll take him time to get used to the group, but he's put double-figure crosses in again today, would you say? How many headers did we win off them crosses? None. No, it's not just Marshy, that, is it? If the ball's coming in and Marshy's gone front post, where's the midfielders? Where's the opposite side player? And people have to chip in with the goals. It's not, for me, it's not a single person's issue. That's a group and a collective. You know, I do a lot of data analysis on football. I'm a bit of a geek, if you want to call me that. I'm at it all day, every day. And one of the things that I did actually look at this week with Philo and Brian was the sort of percentages of who and when the goals have come in terms of positions, and it's not acceptable. I think it was 2% of goals, which is one goal, have been scored by defenders this season. I'm not being funny. We should be on double figure headers from set pieces. Again, I don't know what's gone on before. Neither does Philo, but we demand a lot more than this as a management group, and I can assure everyone that will be the case.
If you can, so I imagine it certainly would have been a very quiet atmosphere with the players when they went into the changing rooms. What is there any sort of like people that need to be stand up and be counted?
I think every single person, me included, you included, as someone who's at the club, the fans included, the board. Everyone needs to be stand up and count. We're in a relegation battle, and I see the board doing it. I see you as the media people doing it. I know I'm doing it. I know the staff's doing it, and I think there's a good percentage of the players that have it in them. But you've just hit the nail on the head. Sorry, repeating a phrase, but you've said the right thing there, where you've said, I imagine it's silent in there. It is. Philo will agree with me on this in terms of his previous dressing rooms. I know it was the case for me at Mosley. I go in there and be players tearing each other's heads off. Just sitting there, just quiet, sort of acceptance of the fact that we've not only lost, we were so poor then. And that silence is not acceptable, so we might need to look at a bit of experience or a little bit of discussion about leadership and things like that. But again, everything's being reviewed. Look, at the end of the day, we're a new management staff at the club. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. Still extremely confident that we've got a good enough group of players, and I think everybody can see that. But it has to start being not just on their day or on our day. It needs to be. We need to see 0-0 draws, 1-0 wins, 2-1 wins, scrappy wins, own goals, things like that. I'm very frustrated there. Very frustrated there. And I know Philo and Bri again will be the same. Is that we've conceded 3 goals today. Okay, first goal's come from our own goal kick. Has come back down our throat goal. The second goal, we had an attacking corner, 2-0 down, own goal. And the third goal has come from us having an attacking corner. The red card has come from us having an attacking corner. So nobody's took a man out. People go mad for tactical fouls now in that elite level. But I agree with it. Why are we not taking people out on the halfway line and avoiding Dino having to run past people to get a red card? It's just, I don't know. It's not what I'm used to seeing, and I know Philo's the same. So we will increase work rate. Anybody who knows me, and certainly Philo, that's a minimum requirement. That's what picks your wage up. Run. If you're having a bad game, run, and that didn't happen today.
Yeah, with because we've obviously had a lot of injuries at Matlock. We've now got 2 suspensions because Harris is going to be away for 3 games, and Luke Dean received. Well, he got a booking, but that was a straight red card that he got, because he was the last man. Yeah. In terms of the injuries as well, because it looks like we might have another one. Ben Gordon went off injured.
I think it was I think it was a bit of an I think it was a bit of an impact on his knee. I don't think it was. Touch wood, he'll be okay. Valo's got a swollen ankle as well. They're not crisis injuries. But for me, it's let's see who's prepared to run through the pain barrier for the badge. Again, we're all big believers we're in it together. It's a community club. It's us versus whoever we're playing, and we're all in it together. And if you've got to run through a little bit of a knock, let's get running through it.
Yeah, I think, I certainly appreciate your honesty, and, more importantly, the fans will really appreciate the honesty as well, because it reminded me a bit, this would have been before your time, but on New Year's Day game against Gainsborough Trinity was very similar, where the players just did not turn up whatsoever.
Almost.
And it is hard to explain, because you know that players are capable of putting in good performances, but it's just not consistent. There's also a couple of players that have left recently, Dan Bramall and James Tague. I think the one with Dan Bramall, not everyone, but there are a few fans maybe a little bit mystified by it.
I appreciate that.
Is the fact that Bramall and a youngster in James Tague going, is that a sign that there will be some more incomings?
I think what it is with Dan Bramall, listen, he's a really good player, and I think given a little bit more time with him as a group, as a staff, we'd have got a lot more out of him. I don't know how he's played prior. I don't know how he's done previously with his relationship with supporters, etc. He's left on very good terms. It was a mature and professional discussion between myself, Philo, and him. He needed more game time. We couldn't offer that in terms of his style of play, his work rate off the ball, his sort of desire to win headers and second balls, because ultimately we're in a scrap. If we were top of the league, he'd probably be the sort of player that would be first on a team sheet, and that's no disrespect to him. And he admitted that himself. The Tague one, I'm a bit gutted about that, to be honest. I think he's a really good, talented player. Philo was the same. Gainsborough obviously come in with an offer. I had a good chat with Tague, and he didn't make the decision easily, but he's decided to go for a fresh challenge, and that's up to him. No one's holding a gun to his head. And to be honest with you, I fully appreciate that if any fan or anyone from the outside is looking, thinking, why did they let him go? Is those 2 lads have decided to leave. Well, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. And that is the clear, concise message throughout. It's like I will continue to bang on, and we're in it together. And if they're not in it, again, I'm not saying they weren't, and I'm not calling them out. They're 2 great lads. If they're not in it, they're not in it. Now it's the lads that are. In terms of people coming in, watch the space.
Okay.
I can't really. It's not. I'm not the manager.
Oh yeah.
So it's not. It's not for me to say. But Philo works tirelessly, as do I, as does Brian, and we'll be all right. We'll get things right. But we need the fans to know that we know how poor it's been. I'm glad I took the time to speak to the ones that I did today. I didn't manage to get through to all of them, but what I will say is, home games, away games, come and speak to me, come and speak to Philo, come and speak to Brian. We will talk it out, and we will listen to negatives, positives, and we'll get the club as a tight unit, a good community-based club, and we'll be all right.
Okay, well, thanks for your time today, Dave. I know it was a bit difficult to come out quite soon after a performance like that, but it's much appreciated.
Yep,
thank you.
Not a problem. Have
Right.
a good weekend. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.